Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the Automation COE Toolkit and a end-to-end process regarding the automation project. I will be going over who I'm going to be using and everything like that, and I'm actually going to start it off with Ashley. Ashley is going to be our person that's going to be requesting the project. So I'm going to jump into Ashley's account and get going. So I'm in Ashley's account here, as we can see in the top corner, and I have the um, Power App automation project open. And with this, I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to name this project Manage Financial Resources. And the process challenge, I'm just going to put it's complex and needs manual work, error prone. And the department I'm going to choose is, as you can guess, finance. And for the primary improvement driver, I'm just going to put a cost reduction. And for processing time, I'm going to do 70 minutes. So it's going to take 70 minutes for a human to do this, and that's a long time for Ashley to do this or whoever's doing it. So, if we are able to automate this and look at how much money we're going to save, that's going to be great. So the process category, I'm just going to choose, for this, I'm just going to choose legacy, and I'll put complex. And then for the processing frequency, I'm going to do daily, and the processing peaks, I'm going to say it's quarterly. And then the volume per process, meaning how many times does, I guess, this manage financial resources, how many does it do within the automation? I'm just going to put 3. And then the business owner, this is actually going to be who approves this request. And judging by the list that I provided before, I'm just going to use Dyna. So I selected Dyna there. So for the automation steps, I'm going to say it's 4 steps, pretty simple. Number of FTEs needed, I'll just say 1. And then rework time is going to be 10 minutes. Average error rate, I'm also going to put 10%. The average hourly cost for this FTE is going to be $50. And the working hours per day, I'm going to put 8. And the working days per year is about 200. And then if it does mess up how many FTEs is needed for the rework, I'll just put 1. And for this automation goal, I'm just going to choose this cost savings through automation one. You can choose whichever one is in your environment. And for the maintenance overhead, I'm going to put 5%. And development cost, I don't know, and I'm going to leave it blank. For this, I'm going to hit save now. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to kick off a flow in the background to actually calculate the complexity score. So now the flow is run and it actually calculated the ROI. An estimate of the ROI, and basically the complexity score. Complexity score of 1, that's very, very good. That means it's very easy to implement, and looks like this will save us a decent amount of money per year. So yeah, let's get this submitted. So to do that, I'm going to click on this item. I can just hit the submit button. What that's going to do is that's going to kick off an approval flow that's going to go to Dyna in this case. That's the approver that I put as the owner. If I didn't put an owner, it would be using a fallback. So I'm just on Dyna's account here, loading up Teams. As we can see, I'm on Dyna's account. And what's great about Power Automate and the way that approvals work is it integrates very well with Teams. So I can even see my activity right here that I have a request for approval. And this was without me installing anything. This is just kind of native with Microsoft Teams. And I can see that there's a project request here as the financial services. I'm the business owner. And I can actually see the project details here. And if I actually click on this, it's actually going to bring me to the app in a view mode where I can see all the details that Ashley put in. So as we see here, I can see all the details that Ashley put in. It looks good, and I'm going to approve it. After it's approved, I'm going to switch over to the COE admin, and the COE admin is actually going to map this project to an environment, and we'll get to there. So I'm going to switch over to the automation admin. So now I'm switched over to the automation admin, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into the automation projects here, and this is where the Manage financial services right here. I see it's been approved, and I can click on it. And this is actually where I can go and look at the details too as an admin, change things if I need to. But then also when I hit related, I can actually map environments here when I click environments. So I'm going to add an existing environment. If you don't have an existing one, you'll be able to create one here too. But I have existing environments here, and for the sake of the demo, I am going to use the production one here, and I'm going to hit add. So now that this project has been mapped to the production environment, and now I'm going to hit save and close. And then I'm going to switch over to a maker. And in this case, I'm going to use Miles. Miles is going to be our maker, and he's going to create a solution based on the use case here. And we're going to basically sync the data back to main here. So I'm going to switch over to Miles. So I'm logged in as Miles here, Miles Gibbs. And I'm in my Power Automate portal, and I'm in the production environment here. I'm going to go to Solutions, and I'm going to create a new solution for this project. It's a new solution, and I'm going to name it Manage Financial Resources. And my publisher, I see I have my finance publisher here. And if you do not have a publisher for your department, what you can do is you can actually just hit this button here. It says create a new publisher. This is going to do is you can just fill in this basic information here with a prefix for your department, and then you can use that whenever you're creating these automation projects within that department, just to make things more cleaner and the department's kind of aware of what's happening. So I'm going to hit cancel because I already have one. So I'm going to select finance, and that's really all the information we need. There we go. So now I can hit create. So my manage financial resources solution here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a desktop flow. So I'm going to hit new, automation, desktop flow. I'm going to name this PAD for Power Automate Desktop. And then manage financial, I'll put manage financial in there, and then dash process for Power Automate Desktop. And I'm going to hit launch app, hit open. And for this, I'm just going to create a very simple Power Automate Desktop flow just to basically showcase this demo. But when this opens up here, I'll drag it on my screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna create something very simple. I'm just gonna put a display message just to get something in there. I'm just gonna put done and close my box automatically, and I'll hit save. And then I'm gonna hit save again. So again, very simple. I just want to showcase the data being synced. So now that I have that saved, I can exit out of Power Automate Desktop. I can go back to my solution here. So close this tab, click done. My desktop flow should show up there. And I'm going to add a cloud flow, an automated one. So in here, I'm going to basically call my flow, trigger manage financial resources dash daily. And I'm going to use, as you can guess, a schedule trigger just to mimic the project that we did create, which it does, the frequency was 1 day. So it runs daily. And then with this, I'm going to actually call my Power Automate Desktop flow. So run a Power Automate flow. And I already have a connection signed in. Basically, I have a virtual machine set up to house the, I guess, the gateway or the machine connection. And this is the process here that I want to select because this is the one that I just created. And I'm actually going to choose unattended. I have an unattended license on this account. So with that, now I'm actually going to hit save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch over to the admin account again, and I'm going to map or meter the solution in the solution artifact to basically say that I want to monitor this flow, this process, this project. So Let's switch over to the automation account again. Okay, so I'm logged in as the automation admin account, and I'm going to open up the Automation Solution Manager app here in the satellite environment. So when I first open it, it's going to put me in this first screen here. So we have total solutions, unmanaged solutions, managed solutions, metered solutions. These are all the solutions in the current environment. And I'm going to map one of the solutions or meter one of the solutions to a project so I can monitor the ROI and the flow sessions, etc. So to do that, I'm going to find my solution. So I can use the search bar up here. I know it's called manage. Yeah, so manage financial resources right here. So I can click on this plus button, or I can click up here and map the project. And then I'm going to search for the automation project it's under, and it's the same name as the solution in my case. So I know it's manage financial resources. Select that, and then click submit. This is going to meter that solution. And then I'm going to meter the Cloudflow to process the ROI and flow sessions every time it runs. So to do that, I'm going to select it. Now you might notice that I cannot meter it here, right? So it won't let me do it. The reason is because it has to follow a certain naming convention. To read more about the naming convention, we can read the documentation. It goes really in depth on the regex expression that it's validating towards. Follow it with just using the standard one that we created. We can click on renaming Cloudflow, and it'll automatically append the expression to the end. But in certain cases, you will not be able to do this. If the solution is managed, you will not be able to rename the flow. So in that case, what we recommend is to disable the flow naming convention. So to disable the flow naming convention, very easy, we just click this button up here. So to disable the flow naming convention, we can click this button up here. It just gives us a warning message saying that the metering could be broken if there are multiple flows with the same name. So just make sure that your flows are uniquely named. So click yes, and then we can click meter Cloudflow, and then click yes. Now we're going to go and run the Cloudflow and see if our flow sessions show up in our logs. So to do that, I'm just going to go back, and then I can click on manage financial resources. I can actually click this button here, open a new window. It'll open up that solution inside of a new window. So next we're going to trigger this flow. So I'm going to go trigger this flow right now. After a successful run, we can go back and see if this shows up in the Automation Solution Manager app. And then if it gets synced back over into main inside of the Automation Center, and we'll look at the Power BI as well. So inside of the Solution Manager app, we can click on the actual name of the solution. This is going to open up the viewer that we were just in before. And we're going to be able to see, we can click on View Logs. We can see that I did run this before and it was failing, but I can uncheck this and it'll show me all of the runs, in this case, the successful one as well. And now we can go and check and see if it synced back to main. So we can see here in the Automation Center, in the flow sessions, we can see that this flow has ran successfully. And we can even click on to get more details. But now we're going to go and check out the Power BI dashboard to see even more information. So when you first open up the Power BI dashboard, it's going to ask you for the main environment URL. So if we highlight over this, it tells us the format. So we are going to want to use just the regular URL with no HTTPS, and that can be found in the Admin Center. So to get that, we can just go over to the Power Platform Admin Center. So inside the Admin Center, we're going to right-click this URL, copy link. So inside the Admin Center in the Environments tab, we're going to click on our environment. In this case, it's Contoso Prod. And then we're going to right-click here and copy link. Now if we go back to our dashboard, we can paste the link in here, but we'll need to remove the HTTPS and the / at the very end. And just to confirm, I'm going to highlight over here again, and mine looks exactly like that in the format right there. So now we're going to hit load. This might take probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but we'll see. You might get prompt to sign in, and that's okay. Sign in with the admin account, and then click connect once you sign in. And then we just wait for these all to complete.